Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the pulse for Husker Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. The offensive line show, the transfer portal show is still coming. But I thought we had a pretty cool opportunity to chat with a former Husker who's going to be coaching in the NFC Championship game this Sunday versus the Rams. My former teammate, Husker safety Daniel Bullocks. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me, Adam.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time. So, real quick, NFC Championship game, you just pulled off what's probably considered an upset at Green Bay. Maybe you guys weren't surprised by it. Talk to me about the emotions of that game, and talk to me about preparing to play the Rams for a third time. And you beat them twice, but it's got to be challenging to try to beat a team three times as well.
No doubt about it. It's definitely challenging trying to go in and beat the Rams, for the third time. They're a good football team. We beat them twice in the season already. They was close games. They are a good football team that's well coached. Starting off with Sean McVay, their offense is very similar to our offense. From a defense standpoint, they good in all phases of the game for a special team, defense, and offense. So we know there's definitely going to be a challenge. On top of that, they have the personnel with the players, with Cooper Kupp. We know he's an elite receiver, one of the best receivers in the game. On top of that, with Matt Stafford at the quarterback position, who's a gunslinger, who can throw the ball all over the field. And then you look at the running backs with Akers, who's getting back in the lineup, who came back our game actually in Week 18. They've been running the football really well. And then you add Odell Beckham to the passing game. He's another dangerous receiver in this league. He's been playing at a high level for a long time. From that standpoint, you look at the tight end Higbee. He's been making a lot of plays lately as well. So very explosive offense. We're going to have our hands full from the defense side of the ball. Eventually, hopefully our offense can move the ball like they did last time. But there's no secrets when you're looking at this game. Both teams are very familiar with each other. It ain't going to be no surprises, anything like that. It's just going to come down to who's taking care of the football and execution at the end of the day, and also winning on special teams.
You talk about special teams. You guys have been winning in the playoffs. You've been winning on the road against very good football teams. You've been doing it with great defense, great running game, offensive line play, and special teams. I don't know how much you've been able to follow Nebraska football. We've hired a special teams coordinator for this upcoming season. Thank God for that. But you guys had a blocked punt, led to a touchdown. You blocked a field goal. You kicked a field goal to win the game. And the guys that blocked the punt and recovered the touchdown are actually two safeties that you coach. You are the 49ers safeties coach. So talk to me about the importance of special teams, even at the NFL in the playoffs, and even at the NFL level.
Special teams is huge. It's just as huge as offense and defense. It's three phases in this game. It's offense, defense, and special teams. And if you win 2 of the 3, chances are you is winning. If you're good on offense, you're good on special teams, you got to have a chance of winning, or vice versa, winning on defense, winning on special teams. And we kind of been using that model. As long as we can win on 2 of the 3 phases, absolutely you want to dominate in all 3 phases. But if you win 2 of the 3 phases, you definitely got a chance of winning. You talk about special teams, especially as a young player in this league. That's the quickest way for you to get a name for yourself. And if you're not a starter in this league, you're going to be on special teams. And the thing about it, if you're in college, you got to play special teams. Because if you're not a starter, whether you're playing offense, whether you're playing receiver, whether you're playing running back, you're going to be starting on special teams. And if you can't start on special teams and make plays on special teams, you'll be out the league so fast. And that was the way I made a quick name for myself. Coming to the league, I started as a rookie year, and also I started on special teams. Not only one special team, I was a 4-core. Guys don't know what a 4-core player is. You start on all special teams, 4 special teams. So that's a big role. You're looking at it from a special team standpoint, just doing what we was able to do to go in Green Bay and block that punt, with Jordan Willis, who's our backup defensive end, who done a hell of a job that we picked up in free agency, came in making plays, and for him to block that punt and to have the safety Talanoa Funga, who just came back that game to scoop it up and score, that was huge. That was game changing. He changed the momentum of the game. At that point, our offense weren't able to score a touchdown throughout the whole game, but they put up points for us kicking a field goal. And then when you look at the blocked field goal punt, the blocked field goal with Jimmy Ward, that was huge. That's coming off a supposed play. I believe they hit us on a 75-yard pass play right down the sideline. QB scramble, hit the back down the sideline. We saw the effort by Jaquasi Tart. Ran the guy down, took a good angle to the ball. Cut back, got the guy down. And then that allows us to come in on special teams after we won three. They won 3 now. They kicked the field goal, and Jimmy Ward blocked the field goal right before half. So you're talking about a huge momentum swing. That could have been points right there. That could have been, you're talking about that game, that play right there that Tart made. That could be a game-changing play where that really could have been the final point of the game. And then at the end of the game, with 4 minutes left to go, Joe Willis come out the pipe, taking the ball right off the punter's foot and scooping up score and tell no Fogler. I mean, you talking about finding ways to win, and that's one thing that this team has done all season. You know, we find ways to win with offense, defense, or special teams. It's a team sport.
Yeah, you talk about finding ways to win. You know, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, a quarterback. Obviously, you spent a high draft pick on Trey Lance. He's learning and growing. Garoppolo's been to the Super Bowl, played in some big games, has a really good winning percentage as a quarterback, maybe been a little up and down even throughout these playoffs. You guys have really talked about the importance of being able to run the ball, stop the run, win on defense, okay? Because you guys, really the strength of your team has been your defense, running the ball, and up front with the offensive line. Because here at Nebraska, we've got some quarterback transfers coming in. We're trying to figure out, I mean, Casey Thompson's probably the early favorite, the transfer from Texas. You know, but it would sure help whoever our starting quarterback is. If we had a run game, the offensive line was protecting him, and the defense continued to play well like they did a year ago. So talk to me about how you guys have parlayed that into your success so far there at the Niners.
Man, it starts with our head football coach. You know, he's all about running the football, and that's what we want to do first. You know, that's our foundational offense. We want to run the football. You know, you look at our personnel for us, the guys that we drafted, the guys that we brought in. You're looking at Trent Williams, one of the highest paid tackles in the game, one of the best tackles in the game, run blocker and pass blocker as well. You look at the addition guys that we added, you know, there's no doubt that we want to run the football. We're a zone scheme team for us. We're a bounce scheme team. And we want to establish a run, you know, to take pressure off the quarterback so the quarterback won't have to win it, you know, every time throwing the football around the field. So we don't want to be one-dimensional. We want defenses, you know, defend our offense from all over the field, from a run game standpoint, from a pass game standpoint. For that, and just taking care of the football as well, and that had helped us throughout the whole season. You know, and you talk about for us time on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Taking away the time, keeping the defense off the field. You know, that's been a blessing too. When our offense is able to run the ball and they milking that clock. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a 5-minute drive, 6-7-minute drive, you keep your defense on the field. Sometimes that's the best defense on the field. The ones that's not out on the field on the sideline, especially versus Aaron Rodgers. In that case, we weren't able to run the ball effectively. Credit to their defense. Their defense did a hell of a job. But then when you look at our defense, you know what I'm saying, our goal, our number one job is to stop the run. We want to force teams one-dimensional. And you know how we built. We built up front. So it's all that talent that we got up front with Nick Bosa, Armstead, DJ Jones, Arden Key, on Street, Gibbons. Those guys do an unbelievable job. You know what I'm saying, up front for stopping the run and owning their gap, you know, setting the edges in the run game. From that standpoint, then you look at the second level players with Fred Warner, Z's, Greenlaw, linebackers who can run and hit. The guys are smart, they physical. From that, then you look at our secondary, like it's important that when you turn to stop the run, that you know you execute on all three levels. And you look at our secondary, like our guys coming down and running the alley, safeties running the alley, corners, cracking, replacing, and nobody's afraid to put their hat on the ball. From that standpoint, so our number one goal is to make teams one dimension and stop the run. And then we can get out them in the pass game and let our rush eat. On top of that, as you look at our D-line, they got 5 sacks each playoff game the last 2 games. Yep. They harming. So when you stop the run, then you 14 one dimension. Now they got to throw the football. And then now you can drop back and rush forward, still get pressure, man. That's big. And now you can do different things from a coverage standpoint, where the doubling guys, breaking certain receivers that are a threat. You can do more in the passing game. And then on top of that, we can bring 5-man pressure as well. So, which I done the D coordinator, D'Amico Reynolds, who done an awesome job this year as a rookie defensive coordinator. He done an unbelievable job down under the pressures at the right time. So it make our job a lot easier, especially on the way our rush been getting out there. But the thing we always say around here is rush and cover go together. And we want to make this a defensive organization. When we first got here, we said we want this to be a defensive organization. And if you look at it for the last 3 years, we have been a top 5 defense blessing. And you got to give credit to our GM, the scouting department, the personnel guys who brought in new players on our roster, regardless of drafting them through the draft or free agency as well.
Have you been able to watch, and obviously every Sunday you're getting ready for your game that particular Sunday, but have you been able to watch much Husker football? If you have, what have your thoughts been on it, whether it be the offense, the defense, or how Husker football has been doing the past couple of years?
I mean, this past season I haven't had a chance to watch them as much. Besides what I see on ESPN, I understand what went on this past season. I understand the change that was made for us. The special teams with Bill Bush. I'm familiar with him. He's my coach. I know he's going to be a great addition for us coaching the special teams unit. That is a big part of the game. Like I said, as before, you win games on special teams, you also can lose games on special teams. And then I saw the changes that they made at the receivers position, bringing in the coach from LSU, who's a former player at Nebraska. I heard a lot of good things about him. I heard that he's a good recruiter and developer. The talent that he had when he was at LSU, with chasing all those guys, man, developing those guys. Those guys are some serious playmakers. And I guess you look at the OC that he just hired, Wimple from Pittsburgh. I don't know much of him, but I heard a lot about him, about his offensive style. When he's at Pittsburgh, guys are putting up a lot of points and throwing the football around. So I can tell you one thing. I'm super excited of the direction that the offense are going with the coach, with the new hires, and also the special team hire. From a defense standpoint, I had paid a little bit more attention to that side of the ball. Them guys got better, throughout the course of the season. And Eric Hernandez, Travis Fisher, Bear Rule, all those guys did a good job, man. And you can tell the players are competing. They competing at a high level. Them guys working hard, and you see it on tape.
How's your brother Josh, who played at Nebraska as well? How's your brother Josh doing? What's he up to now?
He's doing good, man. He has a daughter. He's living life. He's enjoying life. He's enjoying life being a father. At that, he's doing good.
So when we were all at Nebraska together, I always wanted to ask you this question. All right, who was faster, you or Josh?
Me, I'm faster, my brother.
Of course.
That's the truth.
Didn't you tell me a story one
4.36,
time?
he went 4.4, but we both were still fast, though.
Yeah.
So, see, we give each other shit every day about that.
Didn't you tell me a story one time that you guys went to practice one day and you flipped? Like you took over his safety position, he took over yours because I think he was free, you were strong, and the coaches never even knew. Is that a true story? Am I remembering wrong?
True story. Not only one time, it happened a couple times when we just switched jerseys. I just throw in his jersey, throw in my jersey. He played a strong safety, I played a free safety position, and nobody would know. We just be looking at each other, laughing, cracking jokes, throughout the whole process. Or I take pictures for him, I take his pictures. So when he make a play, big play, and he come up on the jump off screen, show my face, and don't nobody notice. But my mom be like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's a picture. Why they showing it? You good a picture for you." But we always did that. It was fun, man. Those good old days.
You got any I don't know, maybe untold stories or something people don't know? Maybe you'd be, from your Nebraska days, you'd be comfortable with sharing with the fine folks at home?
And like in regards to, it's so many stories, that I can share. That's definitely one of them. Just changing jerseys. I know my brother didn't get his driver license till he got to the NFL. He was using my driver license the whole time we was in Nebraska.
Seriously?
Driving around. Yes. So that. So that's a bonus. Just being twins. You can do things like that when you're identical.
Now I got 5 daughters. I got 6 kids total. I got 5 daughters. You got 4 daughters. Josh has a daughter. Man, yes. I think we need to form like a prayer group for each other because we got an interesting future coming down our way.
Hey, no doubt, absolutely, I agree with you, brother. We definitely are girl dads, man. My days have been awesome. My niece has been awesome as well. They've been a blessing in my life. They changed my life. I had my first daughter, and still changing my life every day. As I come home, just to support the love that they show every day. And when I come home from long hours at work, man, that means the world to me. My family is everything to me.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck on Sunday. Good luck in the NFC Championship game. And hopefully we'll see you in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. That's the goal. We got to get past these Rams, man. It's going to be a great challenge and a great opportunity.
All right, until next time, Husker Nation.
Play against those guys.
Yeah, for sure. Until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red. And always remember,
throw them bones.